This is my game face.
This week on Shadowrun's Kansas City. Yeah,
I thought we had a cool name. I thought we were working. That
Techno
wasn't the
Vultures.
R&D team
the
coming up
Cyber
with a cool
Vultures.
name.
Yeah, we
Well,
failed on that.
there's been names pitched. We just haven't confirmed one.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm down for Cyber
Everyone,
Vultures.
everyone needs to for next week.
Our best two
solidify the
pitches.
team name.
I'm all for collateral damage and Cyber Vultures. Just saying.
Collateral damage and cyber vultures are on the table. If
My
someone doesn't
favorite-
have something better by next week,
Abrasive
just go with one of
Dynamics.
those. Oh yeah, I forgot abrasive dynamics.
Yes.
I do like
But that's the name of like a sandblasting company in California. So
Those guys are clever.
That
I
was a
wish
good
we were
one.
Clever like them, but we're not. All right, last time on Name to Be Determined, we had an adventure. It was an amusing adventure. Charlie down on 3rd Street in Missouri, which is a place I do not go, informed Voltaic that the C3 operation, or at least the vendors contacting him, seemed like they were set up in the pier. I should explain to you that this is not, because I feel like there's some misconceptions that I feel like clearing up. There is not like ocean liner boating in Kansas City. We don't have bodies of water larger than small lakes, and the Missouri River is pretty much it. However, river shipping has kind of come into a resurgence in the 2000s, and by 2073, after the river was modded, stabilized, and widened, is a primary source for raw organic material traveling north to south along the Missouri River. So when he says the pier, which is the nickname for this place, it is not a yard of privately owned vessels tethered to docks that go out fishing. It is actually more similar to a section of partially submerged warehouse structures that house, maintain, and send out river barges. So when he gave Voltaic an address ping, it is actually the boat number of a large river barge, and where it is berthed on the Missouri River. Okay, so if you guys thought you were going to go boating today, it's not quite the same thing. In other news, Voltaic and Statrix just worked their magic and got you guys kind of a high-profile milk run job worth cash. It sounds fantastic. No idea how that could go wrong. They would like you on 3 separate occasions to transport a high-priority patient to and from the hospital on 39th Street to the R&D facility, but at the university campus, and back for monitoring. They have requested that you submit a vehicle meeting their specifications to be monitored with heavy medical equipment to stabilize the patient to and from, and to provide your normal, subtle, low-key, under-the-radar security assistance. That doesn't sound like you guys at all, but this is fantastic. Room for growth. Statrix is receiving a number of strange AR messages, texts, comlink requests. There's a theme of mayhem and destruction, many of them involving minotaurs and other fun things that you've been up to recently. Medic, I don't think did anything interesting last week.
No, I bandaged an insane elf.
Oh, that is actually pretty interesting.
And I robbed a old guy and made him feel and gave him a choice.
Oh, that's right. Fair enough. This week you have a number of things on the table. One is to shut down the infamous metahuman meat market that attempted to chop shop your team Minotaur. One is to assist the recently assaulted psychoanalyst slash therapist who has been assisting Minus with his anger issues and is currently stowed away at Minus's house. He has a list of 3 possible suspects, and his therapy notes have been reviewed by Minus. And then, let me see. We did drugs. We did crazy people.
We did the meat market.
Meat market.
That's crazy.
Strange
people.
things with
Milk
Satrix.
run. That's it. That's everything on my plate. I know it seems like a lot, but that's everything on my plate.
Yeah, that seems like, yeah, that fits everything I have written down as well.
Some of these things are time sensitive depending on what time it is today. I feel like Voltaic has between 8 and 14 hours to live. Just bear that in mind.
I'm leaning more for the 14 hours. I'm biased.
We're hoping that the local mob uses a Comcast Time Warner kind of estimation schedule. It's a very large window, and they
Two weeks,
show up the next
2
day.
weeks. Yeah.
Minos, can we get the name of your therapist's secretary?
It is Chester
Sorry.
Carter the third.
Yeah, that's Doctor. Did she have an assistant? Did he have an assistant?
Yeah,
had
she
a
went
secretary.
missing after he was attacked, and she may have the recordings of his sessions, or she might know where they are, or he might know where they are. But what do you have a name?
Come on.
Say it louder.
I don't.
Any name, any
Congratulations,
name at
your
all
voice is
works.
now on YouTube. Sorry.
It's not Minus's fault. She's an elf. They all look the same to him.
Was it Thea? It was Thea, wasn't it?
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
Thea's there.
Go with that.
He can tell you where she works because
Yeah.
he was there every Thursday.
But not lately.
But not
Yeah,
like, we
not
missed
really.
one session.
Okay, so we had just done surveillance. We had drove with Voltaic. He
surveil?
finished his. We tried to do surveillance on the warehouse. We drove by the southern warehouse with the microchips.
Oh yeah, we did that.
We did
I
that.
thought you broke in and stole a bunch of files and then left.
Well, yeah,
That
but
is what we did.
that's part of surveillance.
Yeah, we did.
That's,
do it.
that doesn't
Yeah.
sound like surveillance at all.
I surveyed those files. So, then we went with Voltaic to his friend, and then I think after his discussion there with his drug buddy, we were getting back in the vans. Is that when we left last week?
Ah, that is probably true.
Yeah.
Just
And
after that talk.
Your van needs to be washed because the kid
It's
misheard Minus
filmy,
and tried
dirty
to wash
now.
it for you. Yeah. So.
All right. Yeah. Now every time I change the color, it's still just filmy, nasty, grimy red and nasty green.
You might just want to get a new van. I can't see another way around this.
But expensive.
So, what would you like to do? What would anyone like to do?
All right.
You guys were all together for that in my memory.
Yeah.
You know.
We were roughly together. We were all outside. But
So
it-
after you have a request for a VR conference. It came in the form of a text video. It came in the form of a text invitation. Are you available for a consultation? It's 2 hours from now and it has a VR address.
Who's it by? Anybody I recognize?
It's not anyone you recognize. It's signed Miss July.
Oh yeah, I can be there. Definitely. All right, you said it's scheduled for 2 hours from now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever now is.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna have to make an executive decision and say, with all the trouncing about, it's probably 11:30, because that's when I like to eat brunch. Not really an afternoon bruncher.
And that seems right.
All right, so Voltaic, give us the good word. What do you think we need to do now to get this, help you out with this?
Well, what's his name? Bryce? Reese? The distributor never returned my call.
You just called it before we ended the session. That's not
Right.
fair.
Right, this is true.
Bolton
So-
Reeves.
Bolton Reeves, that's
You
it.
were so close. He must be an elf too.
So,
One of these days, Minus is gonna someone's gonna get in Statrix's van and drive off with the team, and it's not gonna be Statrix, and Minus is just not even gonna notice. Oh, that's our elf. That's our guy.
looks like an elf. I think he's an elf.
He passed the litmus test for elfdom. Like, I felt his ears, man.
Carrot or steak? Carrot or steak?
So we know where they're distributing from, which is this barge, or at least that's where the runners keep going back to. So we could go check it out and see if we can find anything out. I believe I provided Statrix with the name of the boat last time, but we were rather distracted by various things. I don't know if you have a note of that.
I do not have the name of the boat, no.
Nate, what's the name of the boat?
He didn't give you a name. He sent you a comm link with the birthing number. He sent you They gave him like a physical location to get back to him, like a GPS AR ping, and he just forwarded that onto you.
There, he lied to me because in my
I did?
notes I found them. It says East Americade Shipping Corporation.
That's who owns the boat.
Oh, that's who owns the boat. Okay. Docked at Pier 41. Apparently it's a pleasure yacht, but they don't have.
It's not a
those.
pleasure yacht. It's a river barge.
See, that's why your earlier statement was so strange because you said the words pleasure yacht last time.
Well, if I were to have a pleasure yacht, it's got to have a lot of square footage. I'm gonna build
is
it on a
true.
river barge.
It probably wouldn't be on the Mississippi.
Yeah.
It just
I don't know
So-
where my head was at. I don't know why I told you that. I don't know why I tell you these things. Just go with it. It's no longer a pleasure yacht. The pleasure yacht sunk. They had to get a barge. Like, that's
Got it.
first world problems.
All right then. So I think
Pleasure yachts fly. I don't know.
I think Medic was on point where he said we can put surveillance on the metahuman meat market of some sort, and
You can
then
absolutely do.
while we gather some information on that, through surveillance, we can raid the barge. Maybe we can find some cred sticks. Maybe we can blow it up. It'll be fun. I won't get shot afterwards, at least.
The only problem with blowing it up is I don't think any of us have the knowledge to do so. Well, to do so safely.
I actually, yes, there you go. I feel like blowing it up is relatively simple. Blowing it up and not blowing ourselves up or surrounding boats or other things is the hard part, and that's really where the skill comes in. But, okay, maybe we don't blow it up. But Minos can smush some people. You can finally shoot some people with an assault rifle.
None of you guys know about the assault rifle just yet. You just
I
know
think
the
you
machine
mentioned it.
pistol.
Oh, you mentioned it, but maybe you
Out
meant
of-
that
Out
character.
of character, I thought. Nope.
So we
no,
could
I'm not
either
mentioning character.
use.
Never mind. Ignore me.
So we can either use some drones, or maybe we can get Lucy to find out some stuff about. Did we ever get any kind of maps of the warehouse, Nate?
I told you that the floor plans were
Floor plans.
are a public record. Yes, the corporation
Okay.
that owns the warehouse from Statrix's investigations, in this particular lot, there are 16 warehouse units. They come in one of two configurations. They are labeled Warehouse 1 and Warehouse 2 in the back end
Got it.
Statrix.
I'm trying really hard to get this to work for me here.
If it doesn't work, I will describe them to you.
Roll 20's not letting me.
Not letting what?
It's not letting me add the image. That's just
Well,
what I was trying to do right now when we
I
were
might
talking
have
about
given
it.
you. I might have given you bad images. I don't know. I'm
It's
not
a
person.
JPEG image. It should be able to do it.
It should
Yeah,
be able to do it.
you should just go to drop the image on it in as long as
I
you're in edit mode.
tried to troubleshoot it beforehand, but my dropping privileges have been revoked. Okay, so they come in one or two configurations. One is a conveyor belt configuration, more for distribution of already stored materials, with 4 to 6 loading docks on the back end of the warehouse. There's a front end office, shipping center. Basically, it's got partial long-term storage, and then the facility to distribute things out, to put on trucks and ship away. The other is kind of a more multi-purpose room. It's a wide open warehouse, lots of storage. There's actually the ramp into the warehouse. It's got 3 sets of large double doors that allow tractor trailer trucks to pull inside the warehouse, so that you can unload equipment. You can do whatever you would like. It's more of a multi-purpose room. And then there are 2 loading docks there. The Ping, they have actually, there are 16 units in this warehouse. There are 16 units in this warehouse lot that are for lease short term. They have actually rented out the southeast corner of the lot towards the river. So 4 units of these warehouse. 2 are of the shipping configuration. 2 are of the more multi-purpose configuration, and those have been set up. Any type of surveillance would tell you that the traffic seems to be on the southeasternmost 2 warehouses. So people are coming in and out of those. They've rented all 4. Statrix would easily be able to obtain that information. That the same corporation has rented all 4 units, but only the bottom 2 are seeing any kind of traffic.
Okay.
In terms of base security, the complex of warehouses has a subsidiary contract through a small Ares affiliate. They run 2 patrol cars. They go out once every hour. One covers half, one covers the other half. There is a standard electric fence with cameras every 18 feet around the perimeter that goes to a central matrix. But the buildings themselves, it's really keep homeless people and hooligans off the property, sleeping in our warehouses when they're out of use, so we can cold storage them and not lose money. It's not any sort of military grade hostile force environment. Whatever the people who have rented the structures have put into place around their units is going to take some investigation.
Okay.
I think Medica is trying to get Statrix to blow himself up.
I don't think you're wrong.
Why would I do such a thing?
Entertainment value.
I don't think
Okay,
it's
so-
entertaining.
That's a matter of opinion.
Because being as the person who probably will get shot if we fail at least one of these, intentionally shot, as opposed to they were firing at minus and missed and hit me. I feel like we should do the C3 first. So, but what information do we need on the metahuman meat market that Nate has not provided yet, that we can passively get through sources in the while we go deal with C3?
I could ask my fixer, see if she has a person available for physical surveillance.
Indeed an option.
Statrix, your shop has no front end, right? You don't do walk-ins?
It has a shop front, yes, but I'm imagining it's like one of those 3-4 foot wide with the glass window that extends halfway up.
Okay. But people don't walk into your shop.
No, they would like stick
Just
their
show
arm in
up.
through the window or something. I would take
Yeah.
a look at it and tell them to
At
come
their
around
arm.
back or something.
Perfect.
Put a new arm on.
Great.
Hey, so
Great.
everybody in Roll20 should now be able to see one of the warehouses. Nate, could you
No,
tell
have
me
to
which?
You have to move the player flag
marker?
to the other warehouse, to that page. Yep.
Bum, 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 bum. Yep. This is one of the distribution centers. So You can see the truck icons off to the left. There are 6 loading bays on this particular warehouse. One is by the conveyor belt system. The forklifts, all that crap, just kind of ignore because it's different based on who's actually using the warehouse. These are generally rented out long term. It's odd because the people who are leasing this unit have been leasing it for 8 months. But the drug problem, the C3, has only been showing up in the past few weeks, at least according to Voltaic's relatively comprehensive information. But
Okay.
whoever's been here has been here and has been in control of these 2 buildings for a while.
All right.
Okay, so
However,
this.
the other 2, the unloading warehouse buildings that are of smaller design in the other picture that'll show up eventually or won't.
Oh.
They're
take a sec.
they're on a week by week rental basis. They're the same size, but there's no standing equipment. Like the conveyor belts stay in place at the other place. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, cool. So like you see, this is just, it's got a drop off point. It's got the lounge and quality assurance are actually just, restrooms. We provide indoor plumbing in all of our fancy warehouses. And so it's drop off, inspections, and then they crate it and truck it off somewhere else. Where it says inbound goods, those 4 rows of crate boxes are not actually there. There's a set of there's a set of garage doors in place of each of those, and it'll suit about 3 vehicles at a time. It's drive up, get checked, park your car, unload your shit, and get out of our warehouse.
This one here is the meat market.
Yep.
Okay.
You can tell because it does not look like a riverboat.
The other one's a riverboat?
It was a pleasure
Weird.
yacht.
I don't think I have that picture.
Well, I've got this covered. You just wait. You just
Stay back,
wait.
bitch.
So, do they kind of give us an idea what the material is, like what they're made out of and how thick they are?
The warehouse walls?
Yes.
Oh, it's probably like 6 inches of industrial grade concrete. Stuff that turns to powder when you try and blow it up. Made on the cheap for endurance and structural integrity. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that in 2073, these units were 3D printed from the same template of goo.
Got it.
Hooray, goo.
Alright, so we're talking about 2 different things. We're talking about the
Yeah.
Triple C, C3. Then we're also talking about the meat market.
No, this is
We go-
all the meat market. This is all the meat
This
market.
is all the
Yeah.
meat market. Okay.
This is all the meat market.
Basically, we need to figure out what we need to do with the meat market at this moment to prepare for later. Basically,
And
so
perha-
preparations can be made while.
And I
we
don't
do
think I
something else.
presented it very well. What I was trying to say is that when Satrix investigated the files from the microchip company, the microchips are going to the 2 long-term rental I'm sorry, I said that wrong. The microchips are not involved in this at all. I'm the reason you're confused. The 2 buildings have been leased long-term. And the other 2 were the meat market, because I said it's a weekly change on the meat market drop. Well, this week, apparently, it just happens to be next to 2 buildings that the people who are renting the buildings where the meat market drop have also rented long-term. So while the drop may move around, there's these other 2 buildings that are leased out by the same people that are right next door, and it seems suspicious.
Got it.
Okay.
So maybe there's a drop-off point being one of them, and then processing.
Well, especially with
Consider-
that much money, they might have some extra security on hand nearby.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right, so that gives us
Tried to
something
hire
to
a
think
medic.
about.
He was busy.
We are we are first still wanting to take care of the C3 factory, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
'Cause I do not want to die horribly.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
Okay.
It is not yet my time.
All right. Agreed. So, what is our base plan for this? For the microchip?
It's not the we're
Or,
not
sorry,
grading
for the C3.
microchips. Yeah. The microchips and other things have led us to a barge parked at Pier 41 on the piers. So we should probably get some sort of, at least as detailed of
The
of
microchips were going to the microchips were going to an Amber LLC owned distribution center.
Which is the same company we're working for with the milk run.
Well, a person who works at that
Yeah.
company, but yes, that is correct.
The
But
life
the
of a Shadowrunner.
the big bulk of microchips that Statrix discovered was all going to this, was being shipped to this group of property that is owned by Amber LLC. The pier is not in the same place. The pier is kind of Voltaic's lead, and then Statrix's lead is that these microchips are going someplace I really don't want to go. But,
Okay.
so you have options. But the distributors appear to be coming from a barge in the pier, according to Charles,
Got
who
it.
would never lie to another human being. Very
Well,
honest individual.
He may not be honest, but hopefully he at least has a sense for preservation, because he probably doesn't want to be cooked by lightning. Okay, so fun times. Yeah, I guess we should probably find out more about that boat. What kind of security is around it? What's going on over there, and then, yeah, I don't know. I will probably, at least in the terms of rating what is probably a defended position, would bow to the expertise of Minos and Medic.
So we potentially have is there potentially a conflict of interest here with the chips going to Amber LLC and then us getting a milk run from them?
I
It's a
don't
corporation,
actually know.
man.
It's
big.
yeah, it's a corporation. They're big, and the milk run stuff is hush hush, if I'm not mistaken. So hiding it from probably even other people in the corporation. So I don't know if necessarily.
But if we screw them over,
I'm,
all right.
Yeah, I think by hitting the C3 factory, we're not actually hitting the distributor for Amber LLC. So, because we're not hitting the microchip factory.
No, but they're bound for it, right? Or did they come from it?
And they came from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're hitting something that someone bought from them.
Yeah.
well, a
But
lot of
it's
things
not
from.
so directly associated to them anymore, I believe. Unless I messed stuff up too.
Okay.
So do we sneak into this boat, or do we go in guns blazing? I feel like guns blazing is probably a poor option, but what do I know?
Usually a poor option.
Which one was it, Nate?
Which one was what?
If only we had someone with a drone that could take some pictures and
Mm-hmm.
The boat.
do some recon.
Oh, the boat isn't up there in the picture. It's just a boat. It's just a boat, man. It's a boat.
But not. Very importantly, not.
I'll find you a
What's
picture
it?
of a boat.
How big is it?
So I was going to throw it up, but
I'll throw it up.
Okay.
all right. So yeah, basically, if we're going to do the boat thing, if we're taking out drug dealers, which is what this is, right? This is a competing drug dealer.
Yes.
And what kind
And-
of message you want to send across in that regard?
Yeah. So honestly, in this case, it might behoove us to be a little messier than normal.
True.
So do we aim to sink the boat?
I don't think so.
I mean, I won't say no, but
Dude, if you
we also
sink
don't
a
know-
boat in this river, people are going to want to find out who just did that.
Yeah,
It's
that's
going to
probably
take up a
more
lot
of
of room in this
problem.
river where people put and transport a lot of goods. It's going to
Oh,
upset
yeah.
some people.
this is true.
Oh, come on, friend. Cooperate.
Look, I think we just, kill a few of the leaders, and then the rest of them will back off once they see the situation they're in. You take it from there, decide who you can convert or send on their way, whatnot, but, so as long as we make an example out of one or two of the ringleaders.
Sounds good to me. Or at least destroy the hell out of their operation, even if we don't necessarily literally hang anyone from the yard arm kind of thing. If they know, the Orkney boys won't tolerate them moving in.
What's your calling card going to be? How are they going to know it's the Orkney boys that sunk their boat, not, a lightning storm?
I mean, why are those two separate? Does the Orkney boys have a graffiti symbol kind of a deal?
Oh, I'm sure they do. Should ask Charles. He'll draw it for you.
Probably like peeing on the sidewalk.
Oh, they're a group of upstanding car washers. Where's roll 20? Oh, okay, here we go. No, it's if they have a street tag, it's probably just various, orcs with horns,
Oh, is it?
little
Orcs?
green heads. It is. They are not orcs, but the name is funny. So the graffiti is all gonna make fun of the name. It's all gonna be little green people doing various things. We'll call them chibi orcs.
Got it. Okay.
There's a keychain somewhere, but best not to bring that up with management. It's not well received.
I see.
They try to cultivate this very serious professional image, and what they've got is spray painted
Joshua.
chibi orcs. Yeah. Why can I not find? Okay, continue.
All right,
If you
so
need this to continue.
yeah, I was about to say, I
It's
think what
there.
we need for
Second.
the boat is just surveillance to see how we want to come up with our attack plan. We want to do it now in the middle of the day, though.
You should totally surveil it in the middle of the day. It's fantastic.
Yeah, but we don't have a whole lot of time to survey.
Yeah.
That's kind of our problem.
I'm saying, do you want to attack them now in the middle of the day?
I mean,
Or do you just want to tell Bolton Reeves about where this place is?
you'd have to answer my phone calls for that.
No, I'd have to call you back. Like I said, in real time, it's been like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you think
Give
if,
the
I
guy
get
a
if
break.
he gets a message, oh, by the way, I found your entire drug dealing operation, he
He's-
might want to jump on that.
He's in a meeting. He had an appointment. Hey, a very more immediately relevant personal question. What did you do with the magic wristband?
The magic wristband?
Yeah, the one that, paid for lunch and opened lockers down at the
Oh,
community center.
it's in the chef's safe.
Oh, that's right. You left it in the chef's safe.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, rather,
That's
I
right.
gave it to the chef.
That was important to me. Okay, great. It's up there, Jeff. This is how they are moored today. In 2073, the walls have probably been replaced with more high-quality materials so they don't rot in the river, and a lot of the original infrastructure has been destroyed. But you're looking at bays of probably 6 boats that are in these little inlet, unroofed constructs up and down the river.
We're still looking at the warehouse.
That's okay.
Oh,
You
okay.
can listen, you can remember. I hope you can do these 2 things, because if you can't, you're about to struggle. Anyway,
On the adjacent boats that are next to them, is there any movement, any action going on? Is there any movement or action? I mean, can we see from a distance?
where are you? Are you monitoring them remotely? Are you
Well,
standing
are
on the shore
we-
and I missed it?
Are we heading that direction?
I don't know, team. Are you headed that direction?
I believe we should be.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, so you guys already have all of your things that you need? Because, I mean, in the back of the van, I'll just start loading my ammunition right now. I'll set up
Yeah,
5 extra clips.
I thought some attempt to purchase explosives was going to be made. Is that not going to happen?
I wanted the
Nah.
breaching charges for the meat market, but...
I think we'll shoot our eye out, something like that.
Yeah.
If it's the meat market, the charges won't be that too hard to get. Wouldn't need much.
Yeah, I mean, Voltaic is basically heavily armed with finger guns. He doesn't really need specific equipment. So in terms of, it's probably more a question for the rest of the party. If we're going to go investigate a place that's probably heavily guarded.
Well, what does the terrain look like? Like, the urban terrain look like? Like, is there tall buildings? Are there wide open areas? Is there a bunch of like foliage or
Wide open areas.
grass free?
No, it's kind of this mud hole by the river. Missouri is this ugly brown. You don't even know what it is that you're walking through. I assume it's shit every time I go into the river.
Pictures up.
There's like low, walked over, trodden grass down to the bank. There's industrial concrete parking lot for a majority of the riverfront, if you're not in the warehouse district, and then there's like the river that just kind of sludges along in its own little brown happy universe. But thanks to the efforts of Amber LLC, we are making positive change in the ecosystem of the Missouri River. It's been dead for 150 years. Yeah, Amber LLC. I'll talk a lot of trash about them, but the river actually is 2-3 shades lighter of brown than it was in my day. I mean, they've made some definite progress in just straining out whatever it is that makes that river unpotable.
And then using that to manufacture things.
Yeah. Like moon
Like
candles.
coolant.
All right, so that's the picture of the river barge.
Or the setup, yeah.
Yeah, the setup. So, if we're going to do this, let's at least drive somewhere near the location, and I'll see what I can perceive digitally in the area, and as well, we can just take a physical look around, see how many guards and whatnot we see.
Okay.
Good.
All right, and are we just taking my van, or are we taking both vans?
I'm in whatever van Elle's driving, so
Whichever one that happens to be at the moment.
one. Yeah.
Medic, did you want to come with us, or did you want to take the other van?
I'll probably hit home and grab my other equipment for this. We're probably gonna need something a lot bigger than my machine pistol.
Okay.
Then I probably need, if we wanted to use explosives at the meat market, I need to probably do some math too. So.
Voltaic, you have a comm request.
Who's it from?
Bolton Reeves. Go
Should've
figure.
known.
Yeah, I can't believe I've been waiting 15 minutes for this guy to
For this
call me
call.
back.
Impatient. I'll answer.
Hey, is this Voltaic?
It is.
Hey, I need a favor.
What's that?
I'm looking for a guy. It sounds like he's from your end of town. Some kind of computer person. It goes by the name of Statrix online. Has a shop down on Blues and Shirt address.
I think I might know him. What do you need him for?
Roland Descar's looking for him. I'm just doing a gimme. Information exchange.
Do I recognize the name Roland? Is that like perhaps the name of the uncle of the courier that I happen to know of? Not that I'm asking him that. I'm like, we haven't heard the name Roland, correct?
Who are you asking? Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you because I don't think we've heard that name, but
I don't know if you have. I know someone has.
got it. I think I can find him. Do you know what Mr. Roland wants?
Nah, he asked for a bag and grab. Is that something you think you can take care of?
Statrix is a slippery fellow. I'll see if I can find out. In the meantime, I think I found our C3 problem.
Oh, you did?
I did. So it looks like the distributors are coming off of a barge in the Pier District.
Which barge?
41.
You
Well.
got a GPS location?
And I believe I do because he sent me that tag, and I'll forward that to him.
Okay. Just the one boat?
As far as I know, we were going to see what we could find out there.
I'll tell you what. I got a guy in that area. It's not really your neck of the woods. Why don't you keep your nose clean? I'll send someone down and check it out.
All right.
Hey, Voltaic.
Hmm?
Nice work. And then he hangs up on you.
So we're definitely going to see what he's doing. So, when he answers the call, and oh, it's Statrix is here. Okay, just being distracted by a cat.
Yeah.
So basically, I'll kind of turn away from, I guess, staring off into space, from that comm call, and ask Statrix, do you know who Roland? What was his last name? I'm sorry, Nate.
Descar.
Deskr.
No, it's a C.
Okay.
You have to pronounce it dramatically, though. There's like a
Descar.
hyphen thing in there that I never really understood.
So in that case, Voltaic will turn to Statrix and say, Statrix, have you ever heard of a man named Roland Descar?
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Because
Didn't we wreck his train? Is that this guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
totally
think
this
we
guy.
ripped a door off one of his trains.
so funny story.
That's the name.
He asked a colleague of mine to find you and grab you, and that
Now
colleague,
he's a colleague? Hang on a second. I'm joking. Now he's a colleague?
colleague. Well, I guess
I gotcha.
theoretically.
I see how it is. He doesn't call you back and it's the end of the world, but...
Oh no, colleague is sarcastic.
Okay.
And then he just called me and asked me if I knew where he could find you.
What'd
So
you
it
tell
appears
him?
that you have a fan.
Huh.
Did Voltaic tell us that he sent that letter, or the message?
I don't know, he's sitting
Or
right
Statrix.
here, and I'm pretty sure you're Voltaic.
Which
Like,
message?
So
electricity names, damn it.
Shouldn't you know
Did
the answer to
Statrix
that
tell-
question?
Did Statrix tell the rest of us that he sent that letter to to the guy.
The death letter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the death letter.
We'll call it the Death Note.
The death note. Yeah.
Death note.
Yeah.
So Cedric, it appears that your death note was not well received, as I think there might be a price set on your head of some sort.
How much?
I didn't ask.
Hmm.
I didn't want to ask too many questions. Plausible deniability and all.
I got you. Yeah, just keep me in mind of how much I'm worth, so I can make sure I have at least that in my bank account. Should something happen.
And so Bolton Reeves says not to worry about the barge, and he'll send someone down there to take a look. But I trust Bolton Reeves about as far as I can throw Bolton Reeves. And if I'm not mistaken, my strength score is a 3, so it's not very far. So I kind of want to go take a look anyway. Maybe see if we can spot the person he sends down there, if there is someone.
All right. I mean,
Job's done.
yeah. You're safe now, aren't you?
I guess theoretically, I smell a rat.
Okay.
But
I mean, yeah.
But you, I
We have
think
time. We can go
could-
check it out if you want. If you really feel
we
bad
could
about
check
it.
out. Yeah. Or instead, we could change gears, and instead of using our passive surveillance time on the meat market, we can go deal with the meat market and use passive surveillance to keep an eye on the barge to see who he sends down. And then maybe lead that up on, because if he were, for example, involved, then that would be a pleasant way to end things. For me, not for him, but
What are
That
we doing
was the
for
article I
the?
was showing you.
okay.
What are we doing for passive surveillance?
No, it was a big, good long article.
well, we could contract Lucy, or we use one of our contacts.
Like I said, I think my fixer still has a person or two available.
Okay, so at the moment we
Um,
don't have anybody watching the docks or the
We don't have
warehouse for
anybody
us.
watching either location.
Okay. So
We
we've
could,
got 2 vans. We can split up and watch both locations, or we can wait to see what your contacts bring back. Yeah.
Well, we could take a hitter each, and worst case scenario, we can act on either side.
Man, if we had a rigger, this would be great.
Yeah.
All right.
Text message from Bert.
To me.
Yeah.
What's the text message?
Here we got a snatching bag. Ernie's getting the truck. Where do you want us?
What's the price on this anyway?
What you're asking me?
Oh
So
yeah,
it's a favor. It's a exchange of information. Like Bolton Reeves just kind of expected you to do it because you didn't tell him you wouldn't.
I mean,
the standard procedure is you don't ever get an immediate payout for these sort of organizational clerical activities. Basically it's you take a couple hours of your time, you make a pickup if he's in your zone, and you drop him up for management to speak of. There's a chapter house nearby where your shop front is. Just kind of a back-end, single-doored sort of place that can easily be accessed by a van or several vans. There's a couple of these drop spots in your area. Generally, you get a text, you get a call, you go pick the person up, or you set it in motion. They drop them off. Someone else comes to get them. It's pretty run-of-the-mill day-to-day activities. People disappear all the time.
and then get turned into a meat market. Well then, I will respond back to Bert with no location yet. We have to find him first, and then I'll turn back to Statrix and say, "Looks like the search for you is heating up."
Already? Oh wow. Your organization is a lot better put together than I had imagined.
Mainly because
Well,
my
I
only
mean-
Gonna be real
exposure to
here.
it has been you.
Yes, this is the it's very limited exposure to it. I don't know what to do about this
So,
quandary.
how much am I worth? And how much are you thinking about turning me in?
See, here's the thing.
All the doors in the van
Bruce
lock.
Reynolds over there annoyed me, and it makes me less less inclined to do favors for him. And I don't know. I feel like something's not right with this C3 thing. So I don't. You don't have to worry about me turning you in. Also, it sounds like it's not a direct payout. It's a, we grab this guy, you tell us this information kind of deal. So I think the reward is non-tangible.
Well, those are normally the best kinds of rewards. Now I'm actually curious.
I can never remember his name for some reason. Bryce, Bruce, Brian. I even wrote it down. I've written it
Bolton
down like
Reeves?
3 times. And Bolton Reeves. There we go.
I was like, who are you trying to remember?
All I think is a Wolverine.
Bolton Reeves, all caps. Yeah, I don't know. I smell falsehoods from Bolton Reeves, and now he's asking me to turn someone in that he probably knows is a known associate of mine. That's funsies.
Let's assume he doesn't know anything yet if he's asking you to turn in one of your friends. One of your friends,
Or
right?
it was a subtle hint of, we know?
Could be.
Yeah, but that'll probably at least buy me some time. Because theoretically, I did have to locate you.
Where are you
Even if I
driving
didn't
while
know
you're
that.
having this conversation? Just is the van circling up?
Oh no, the van is on the way to the meat market. If he's in my
you
van.
arrive. let me. You arrive, and where are you trying to go near the meat market?
The meat market is the
You're in an
slot.
awful congested warehouse district. Not really congested. It's more like one of those country highways. Drives from like different fenced complex to different fenced complex, and eventually you just drive by the set of fenced off warehouses where the meat market is. You can pull off onto the side of the road. Like I said, it's a highway, speed limit 55.
Yeah.
No integrated network.
When we drive by, do we see anybody standing around outside?
No, it's an automated. It's one of those scan or keypad systems. You enter your account code or your key card chip that it'll print for you for the whatever your reservation or your right to be there is, and you just scan it and go in. With the exception, this is the main gate to the facility. Now you notice even there are cameras every 18 feet, like I said, around the perimeter of the fence. But this is not the only entrance to the fenced area. The southeast portion down the road, there's access roads that go towards either side, and there's actually transportation gates at all 3 of the sides that are not facing the river. This building actually gets creepily close to the river. Someday it'll be reclaimed by the mud sludge that is the Missouri. But the southeastern gate, none of these are open now. But if you look at the drop information, there's actually a range of hours. And not a range. That's a bad. It forms a range of hours, but it's starting at 6. So you assume that one of these gates is just going to be open at some point during the day. They are all closed with ID badge scanners now. There is no one standing at the gates. Depending on what time it is, I think we'll say it's 11:30. If you were to hang out until noon, you'd see the patrol car make a round of each of the 3 gates, just kind of half-assedly.
Oh, rent cops.
And who all so I've definitely got Minos with me in the van, and Voltaic, you said you wanted to come along in my van as well.
I was under the impression Minos never left his motorcycle. I thought they were fused at the hip.
No. For that, we were taking the van because I was going through the notes.
Mhm.
Ah, okay, correct.
Yeah.
Yes, you have your champion of justice.
And so, Medic, you're the one I'm wondering about. Did you come with us in the van?
No. As mentioned before, heading home to grab the AR because we need probably something with a little bit more stopping power to it.
Okay, but you want to be here for the meat market.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, heck yes.
So, yeah, we'll just survey and wait around until Medic can make it back.
Okay. So, Nate, I want to send a message to Lucy, basically making a bid for her services to basically find out. I don't know. I'm suspicious to find out if there's any connection between Bolton Reeves and that boat, or who he sends,
Lucy is more of a find this sort of gal.
rather than a find a person. Alright.
Well, more than a like define the relationship sort of gal. So you can put it in there, but the odds of it getting picked up as a job are low.
Got it.
Find me a Minotaur this high, weighing approximately this many kilos. Hard job, but in her wheelhouse. Find me this interested trail of interconnected information or the dirt on so-and-so. Actually, if you phrase it as find me anything suspicious on so-and-so, maybe she'd do it. But
Yeah.
generally it's, hey, I need this.
Got it.
I need a right arm that spits fire. Got it.
In that case, I would probably phrase the request as
I need Statrix, this online hacker dude. Done.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure they'll find you pretty quick, assuming they bid for you. It's a bad day to be Statrix.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Every day's a good day to be Statrix.
All right. Well, if they're waiting, that it all comes down to is I'm using Grid Guide to drive, so
Okay.
I'll leave that a call
Where
to
do you
you.
drive to?
home first to acquire my equipment.
Okay.
Putting it into kind of like a.
When did you separate from the?
Gun mag.
When did you separate from the remainder of the group?
I think when we all started heading out.
Okay.
Once he realized we were
Okay.
realized once we
It's gonna take
decided-
Medic a half hour to get there. So I guess you are there at noon to see the guard go around, do a gate inspection, check the card reader, make sure everything still works, go back.
Minos, do you need a weapon or something?
I've got one.
Do you?
Yeah.
As he hugs everybody to death.
No, he's got a wood-handled Ares
Oh, he's
super
got it.
pistol.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, the Super Warhawk.
No, it's got a Cellbite Guardian.
Oh, that's not too bad.
I do greatly enjoy that gun. Says the man who can't hold guns right now because he'll shoot everyone else in an accident.
Well, we'll give you a taser. No, we won't even give you a taser.
So
No, he can't even handle a taser. Don't do it.
So basically, I just get at the back of my van. It's gonna be driving itself once we're ready to go in, and I'm just gonna have my assault rifle, a few extra clips on the side of it, but I'm pointing my gun at the back door of my van, and I'm stationed there at the back of my van.
Actually, now that I'm there, is there any buildings that have a little bit of elevation on the meat market? Like, so we look through like windows, assuming that there's windows.
I'm sorry. Repeat the question.
Is there any place, tree,
wants a
whether it be a
sniper's nest.
tree, an elevated position? Yeah,
Okay.
that's like up, like within the block.
With good firing lines.
That's what I was looking for the most.
What range are you looking?
Um,
Are you looking to break into an adjacent building?
I'm perfectly fine with anything 150 to 350 meters out.
Because here's going to be your immediate problem: is say the two drop-off buildings are here and here. That means that for a decent vantage point on half of the building through a window, which is already an occluded view and kind of a pain in the butt in these big concrete boxes, you're really looking to be here, here, and here. Here and here are owned by the same company that here and here that you're shooting into
I'm
are.
confused by this here and here.
I'm sorry. Here's my box. This is terrible.
I'm not
I
sure.
actually drew this on a drafting program this morning, and it was so irritating because it did not, when I printed it, it kept printing blank, so I couldn't have it saved to an image. Because I knew this was going to be an issue, so we'll do this. You want to know if there's a good sniping position? My immediate answer is it's going to be a struggle. The struggle is real.
Okay, so then I'm not worried about it then. So yeah, you'll see.
All right. See these?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. There's actually 16 of these that make a square, and the gate that goes around. These ones, you're actually over here.
Okay.
Road here, road here. Okay. These two are the drop-off buildings. These two are the long-term rentals. The problem is if you're trying to cover a drop-off building, your best locations to do that are either going to be here, 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 or here from on top of a building. And your vantage point is going to be limited because it's really, they're going to be the high vantage windows just to let light in. It's not for ventilation. And so you're going to have, these are your best two options, and it's going to be really limited range of fire. I mean, from the roof of one of those buildings or from window down into one of those buildings, assuming there is a catwalk under the window, which I can't guarantee, because I've never been in those two buildings you're asking me about.
All right. Oh, that's no problem. So yeah, I'm just going to pull off my. I have a nice slide for my for the image scope. Take off the image scope and mount the bayonet.
Nice. Did anyone bring a flamethrower?
We have a mage. That he is a flamethrower on demand.
Okay.
Hopefully, sometimes.
I'm not
Or he
sure,
just throws lightning.
but I needed to know. All right. What else would you like to know about this place?
What does the roofs look like? Like, are there skylights, for lack of a better term?
No, there'll be a maintenance entrance onto the roof. They're big, flat, domed buildings. They're riveted to cycle the rain off. So there's, when I say flat, there's more like a, I don't know, a 5% grade so that water comes off them. They're basically a big sheet of bent metal that has been framed with little steel girders into the concrete.
Yeah.
Single story, high roof.
High
Typical,
roof.
just-
Yep. Pretty typical.
How many people? We saw a patrol car go by where there are actually people in it.
Yes, 3.
3. Okay. And what did
And the rent-a-cops.
I would assume that they are rent-a-cops.
they didn't
They've
have
got
any
the
sort
logo
of?
on the van. Yeah. No,
They definitely
they're,
weren't knight errant or anything.
No.
Okay. They
They're
weren't a
not
private corporation.
corporate security. They're more like single A corporate affiliated owned company providing security.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just rent-a-cops for the warehouse area, not necessarily these warehouses, correct? The meat market particular warehouses.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay. So,
I'm dying
What's-
to know what Minus is drawing right now.
I'm not drawing. I'm writing.
Oh, I'm dying to know what Minus is writing right now.
So we still have.
Notes.
Can't be contained to the curiosity. We still have.
We still have the second van, which had the.
Which arrived with Fennec.
Yes. Now, in that van, though, we had. When we captured it, there were 2 or 3 bags, I thought. The ID bags for those people.
Uh-huh.
For the people that were driving it. Do one of them have one of the electric card scanners that we're talking about to open the gate pass?
You do not see anything that looks like it would work.
Okay, then
Nothing with the warehouse block logo on it. Nothing in that configuration.
Comlink? 'Cause that might have a short range, like a RF chip on it.
One comlink was tragically destroyed. I think Voltaic let the other two keep their comlinks so that he
Yeah.
could call them
Okay.
and ask them for favors.
In return for not frying them into ash.
Okay, I can just try to spoof the gate, then. That it'll let us
That's
in,
true.
so that way we look like we're part of the, we're actually doing a legitimate meat market drop-off.
Legitimate business.
Yeah.
All right, and I tried to be clear on what was in there is the main guy's data pad, right? Because that's how we
Mhm.
got the location for the dropout
Location.
in the first place. And he's got like I didn't explain it very well, but he was planning to drop off at 6 o'clock. Just so I'm pretty sure, like if I were to take a guess, looking at the information that was very poorly presented to you, I would say that this gate is just going to be hanging open at 6 o'clock for these two buildings.
Okay, so maybe that'll be easier for us to come back at 6.
It's up to you. If you want to come when no one else is here, this actually sounds dash cunning. If you want to come in like you're legitimately dropping stuff off, then I'd probably wait.
Yeah. Well, here's my thought on it. Okay. Biggest issue that there's 4 different buildings with unknown people in each of those buildings. If you create noise, it's just like lifting the trash can lid. Cockroaches go everywhere. They just scatter. You can't keep track of it all. So we're going to have to be really, really quiet in all 4 buildings, or at least 3 of them, and then the 4th one we can do whatever we want. Which I don't think is going to happen, especially with an unknown number of people in each of those buildings. Or we can come in basically, quiet. Again, you've got 4 buildings. The moment someone raises an alarm, now we're in trouble. You need to know how many people are in there,
Yeah.
or some way of controlling that area so they can't leave.
I can try to hack the cameras.
Could you hack the mag locks so they don't open? I mean, don't necessarily
within
need
the
them
building?
to break them open. Just stop them from opening.
We could just shoot them. Assuming that the mag locks are closed when we shoot them, they'll remain closed.
But we
If
still
you-
have warehouse doors.
Well, if they're
we
mag
know that.
locks, if you remove the power from them, you can open them.
Okay.
So you can always
Even
cut
if
power
you
to a
bust
mag
them?
lock. Yeah, even if it's busted, especially if it's busted, once the electricity isn't running to the magnet anymore, you can just physically unlock it. It's a failsafe.
We could also create a diversion.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but that if we do create a diversion, then
I
Well,
love your
basically-
team's diversions.
Basically, getting as many of them to come to us as possible without firing on us.
Well, the ultimate question that we need to ask is, do we want to do this immediately, or do we want to watch this and scope it out for a little bit?
Yeah,
Because we could
How
mark
much
their
more have we learned?
vehicles. Because if we're worried about them scattering, right? If we just sit there and watch, see who comes in, we can tag vehicles on their way in or way out. One or more
Follow
of us
them
could
back to
sneak
their
in.
homes.
that's actually a kind of a sneaky idea because if we're thinking other people might come at 6, we might also catch other like meat market runners, like other vans.
Because like, if we're worried about them scattering, right, we need to be able to destroy everything.
The
We
GM
could
begins
feed
to sweat because he didn't see this as a way for you to just develop a fleet of vans.
All we have to do is just.
How about
tag them.
this?
I have security. I have stealth tags on me. If I get in there, I can just put them on stuff. And if we're worried about them scattering or relocating, we can find them at our leisure then, assuming they don't find them. This gives us more time to plan out what we want, if we want to engineer a distraction, it'll give us more time to engineer said distraction. We can get the layout of the building. We can get we'd start finding names and probably get find
Well,
leverage
can-
on certain people.
Can we do that before 6?
Because we don't know when this is gonna move drops. Period.
Well, what's stopping me from? If I can get past the barrier, I should be able to slip in there and start tagging everything.
You're talking about stealthing in, right?
Yeah.
Physically infiltrating. So at
Well-
least that way, if it works, then it works.
Astral's
doesn't-
another. Astral's
yeah.
another solution.
Yeah,
I was about to say, Voltaic, can't you also do something to make yourself less visible? You
yes,
were
I can.
Tricking the drones earlier. I'm not sure the extent of your powers, but
Arcane power. Well, I have many
Oh.
options. I can astrally project, although it won't be able to get much information about things that aren't alive, which would actually probably be useful for us. I could probably get a count.
that'd be good for us. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Cameras,
Forget this is a thing.
Astral, Meat, probably our best 3 options doing this.
I'm feasibly able to get a layout of all 4 buildings, depending
With
on
your
what the
radar.
barrier ratings of the walls are.
Yeah.
I can also send that information to you all. So here's what I'm thinking: if you can get in, kind of quiet, kind of be Johnny on the spot with any sort of, if people run out of a building, you can easily dispatch that and take care of that issue. But what I'm thinking is that what's the best way to get management or if the ringleader to this, to us?
We could cause a ruckus.
Well,
Then
Are you
management would leave, I
okay?
think.
I mean, you think you could negotiate with them once you get in about payment?
I can negotiate. I'm not the best at it.
Well,
So if
no.
Voltaic's willing to,
whoever was driving.
If Voltaic's willing to walk me through some of the finer points, I might be able to.
So we're negotiating payment for them for what?
Oh no,
How about
I'll
5
go in
million
and
dollars?
complain about not being paid enough for what we've done.
No, I think I like where Minos is going with this.
You want extra?
So, you're
One extra
suggesting we
old
try
thing.
to sell you to the meat market? Oh, this could be fun.
Well, not even that. Like we could have said we dropped stuff off here earlier, and then we just realized we got gypped.
They're gonna notice they may notice the rolling probable cause kind of creep van that we've got. I didn't recognize that earlier in the day. Oh yeah, we just had it washed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that is an option. We could try and sell Linus.
The only problem is
Um,
how we're going to make Minus look like he is. Well, we could say we could have him under like some sort of mind spell.
We just have him in the back of the van.
But wouldn't they be suspicious that there's an awake a minotaur that is awake? And
Not if he just pretends he's
Passive?
asleep.
Or, yeah, we could just put fake handcuffs, fake shackles, something. Like,
paper mache shackles.
yes, perfect.
Does anyone have artisan skill?
Well, I mean, it could it could be something simple. I mean, they're not gonna. I mean, I
When
don't think
by
they're
the
gonna
time
look
they
at the
open the
handcuffs,
door and see
because-
Minos isn't tied down, I think it's too late for them.
Yes.
Well, I don't think so. Because if you could create a ruckus or at least demand more payment, like I don't know who I have to speak to, whatever you do to get the boss, get the manager.
See, I don't
This
know
involves
how much
all of
they're
us
gonna
going
be
inside,
willing.
though.
how much they're going to be willing to reveal some management for
Well,
like
I
a
mean,
problem
you have
like
to say
this.
that. It's just, what, do you want it or not? We're gonna have to renegotiate price. The little peons aren't gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, and they'll easily believe that Minos was more of a fight than we had expected, or
We could portray him as like the famous Minotaur everyone's been seeing on ShadowTube.
yes.
Got that rare blood.
Like, no matter what, they're gonna want Minos. Look at him. He is like, this is chrome perfection right here. I mean, come on. They're gonna want this.
All natural, Angus.
No, I mean, I'm just looking at him. You know how much I could get for parts on this guy? Like, they're gonna want this. Let's do it.
All right, so does that mean we're going at 6 or we're going now?
I think-
Or before 6, even if it's not right now.
I think would be more convincing at 6.
Don't we have that snatch and bag thing to do?
The snatch and bag is actually on Statrix.
Yeah.
We've already got him,
Gulp.
guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, we have found him.
Oh, is that
But
this
no,
guy?
I actually am not sure how to deal with that.
How much is he worth?
Yeah.
Well, if we had Slab, we
Yeah,
can make
that
him
hard
look like
not
he's
to
dead.
We still have those cryo tubes. He won't fit in one, though.
No, just alive. It's. I'll just-
We have a mage. He can do some voodoo.
No, you're not. I just won't move.
He's a volunteer animal.
You can say that he got cowed into submission.
I'll be the driver so I can take care of any of the gates or anything else that we need until we get in. Any other electronics. Once we're in, I can shut down like gate controls and garage doors, conveyor belts. I can shut down a lot of things, but
So to confirm what we have, we're going to go in around 6 o'clock, right? Do we have enough firepower to do it?
all right. In the back of the
We
van,
don't know.
we have 2,000 of the armor penetrating rounds, and we have 2,000 high explosive rounds for
Jesus.
submachine and assault rifle.
Damn. I didn't even have that much.
This is even more rolling.
That's why when we were asking
problems
about
than-
what's going on in the back, I was like, oh yeah, no, we do kind of have a small armory back there.
That is beautiful. Well then.
So yeah, that's what I was saying. I prepped
Can I
5
help
clips
myself
for my
some-
assault rifle and 2 clips for my my handgun.
It's
You-
going on
it's like-
fire.
Are you fine with me taking some of that ammo? Because I could use some of the high explosives.
High explosive, yeah.
Yeah, you see Medica and pull out two. You see me pull out two.
That's the +1 damage, +1 armor pen, right?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's the one.
and then swap out my subsonic rounds for.
For the noisemakers.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
Since I'm not
make
doing
noise,
any
alright.
fire.
Oh, Nate, just so you know, if I ever whip this out in the future, I normally always have at least 1 clip with my pistol that has gel rounds in it.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, my predator consists of only steak and shocks. So that's my passive weapon.
all right. So if we're gonna stick around till 6, I guess I will go VR and visit a local nearby node.
All right. Here, let me do something quickly, and just to confirm, I'll have my. If you're fine with it, I'll get my agent to watch your matrix icon, and if you get a mark on you, do we just want to pull you out, like right then and there, or you want us to leave you?
No, not at 1 mark, because he might want to try to transfer files and things like that. which I guess I could receive, but no, not at 1 mark.
Okay, because I'm just worried, like, if you get link locked or something, but then you won't be able to get out.
Yeah. Well, if I get link locked, then they're gonna get my physical location, and we'll all be pretty dragged.
Not right away. It takes a little bit to fight. But if you get link locked, like, there's no easy way jacking out.
Yeah. I'd say 2 marks then.
On 2 marks?
Yeah, I know 3 marks is you're done, but
Oh, no, 3 marks, you should still be fine with 3 marks. But, yeah, no, that's up to, that call's up to you if you wanna.
yeah,
How-
I wouldn't
uh,
mind some extra
how about
support.
pull you out?
I don't know what they'll be able to do, but it's not
Alright.
Lucy, is it?
How much time do we have in the meantime?
Between now and 6, roughly 6 hours.
Well, I can say with Statrix if you guys want to, go check on the, barge.
Or
I think we,
go ahead.
I think we've got enough time to go and talk with one of the other patients of Dr. MacArthur's and see if we can't get some information from him. We got 6 hours.
Yeah.
Couldn't hurt. Maybe it's some valuable information, and maybe he can let us know how many people are in that in those buildings.
You think you 2 guys got this? Because I want to
Or
see here with Statrix and
Find more
for
information
security.
on the moon cannon.
The moon cannon. Oh, I want a moon cannon.
Oh, that's beautiful. But yeah, no, I want to hear with Statrix in case.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good idea because people are looking for Statrix actively.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
right-
can hold them
right
off.
When
now.
you say
enough for him
people,
to
you
get
mean
out.
a small gang.
How small?
Aren't you
or
guys
large
all
is the
just street
organization?
thugs? What? How big is your organization?
Isn't the Orkney Boys the primary organized crime in the area? Right?
Ah, fuck me.
There's nobody else.
Okay.
Once more, he is surprised by the size and comprehensiveness of the organization I belong to.
So big that they don't realize Voltaic's a part of it.
Yep.
So yeah, we definitely want to keep somebody with Statrix then.
Probably not Voltaic.
Yeah, we'll take
Yeah.
He might have
That
a
would kind of
conflict
ruin-
of interest here.
That would kind of ruin the I clearly don't know where he is, not at all, aspect that I'm going for.
Then go take the other van. If it's if you have a contact coming this way, give me a heads up because I'm going to shoot anyone that's armed coming near this place.
Duly noted.
And if it's one of your people, no offense.
I'm sure.
This is why I don't
Everything
keep
will-
people.
Okay, so I guess I'm with you, Minus. Lead the way. We can take.
Who would
one
you like
van.
to investigate first, Minus?
Yes.
You have the address of 3 severely mentally ill people. Who would you like to visit first?
Well, I don't know. After going over the notes for a couple of hours, if I come up with anything, with my logic of 3 and masterful abilities of
Deduction.
deduction that I learned on TV, Tridio.
Well, you have Moonkind guy, incredibly violent guy. Who was the third one? I don't even know. That guy must not be
The
important.
long-term.
Yeah, he must not be important. Ryan Begersher photo. Perfect. I love it. Okay. No. The hint I gave you last time was that violent guy was kind of repetitive and boring. The therapist thinks it's some sort of corporate intervention that one of his people shared something with him that he shouldn't have. Um, there's nothing a lot like that in the notes, except that the last page of notes with Moon Cannon Guy had a sketch that looked very accurate to like. It wasn't just the doodlings of a crazy person. It looked like the technical diagram for a railgun that he was trying to draw and explain to the professor, even though the professor didn't have the expertise to realize that this wasn't just crazy crayon drawing. So that's a bit suspicious. Violent ex-military people are always a bit suspicious. Only those two were corporate employed.
Now, was it the Moon Cannon guy that talked to the metahuman meat market?
No. None of these guys talked about the
None.
metahuman
Okay.
market. Yeah.
All right.
Didn't come up in
I thought-
sessions. If they're doing that, it's on the side.
I thought somebody related to the psychotherapist talked to the metahuman meat market,
Yeah.
besides Menace.
I think the therapist, when he was almost abducted the first time, mentioned something about motivations maybe being the meat market were after him, but that he put that aside to investigate his own
You
people.
guys said that, and I was like, he's kind of
Oh.
wealthy in plain sight, and then you guys set that aside, like, yeah, probably not. There's probably easier people to
Okay.
grab. And then Statrix was like, but they tried to grab Minos, and he was really hard to grab, so there's a lot of stupid people. We can't take this off the table.
Yeah.
Which is true. So there's definitely I believe that the party suspected that the metahuman meat market might be behind this guy's assault, and they shot up his apartment.
They did do that.
I am confident.
Can you hear me?
I am
Yeah.
confident that he knows where the recordings for his sessions are.
You could call him.
You could call him. I mean, you did leave him comfortably sleeping with
Can you
some
hear
sort
me?
of
This
medicine.
is a test.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can
Yeah,
hear you.
we can hear you.
Okay. Oh,
So-
this is not good. So it's picking up from the camera. That would explain why everything I was having those problems.
So yeah, we can give him a call. It's been a while. See if he knows where the recordings are, and we can go through them. We got plenty of time.
Yeah.
So we'll give him a call.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Minos, hello. It's so good to hear from you.
How's the house?
I believe it's intact. I'm feeling much better, thank you.
Good. Very good. So about those recordings,
What recordings?
the recordings from the therapy sessions. You said you had
Alright.
some.
Oh no, he did. You deduced that from him writing timestamps in on the notes from his therapy sessions.
Yeah.
It looks like there's some sort of recording somewhere. He didn't actually tell you there was a recording
Oh. okay.
somewhere.
So, do you have any recordings of the sessions?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
Where are they?
They're in the safe in my office.
Okay. I'm gonna need to go get them.
Are you sure that's a good idea? I mean, I told you it looked like there were people waiting for me outside my office.
Yeah, it sounds like a really good idea, actually.
Okay.
How do I get into the safe other than breaking it?
Janice will let you in if you tell her that I sent you. I can give you the manual passcode, though I've never used it and I can't guarantee it works.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'm probably not involved in the call. Didn't he say Janice went missing?
He
And I
hadn't
named her
heard
Thea.
from her. He hadn't heard from her again since he hadn't spoken to her again. She may be missing. He doesn't know. He didn't call her back. He just didn't go in.
Okay. So,
It's not about her.
we'll make our way there, and I'll get the needed information from him as far as what the manual passcode is for the safe.
Sure you don't want to take Medic with you? He hasn't been to therapy this week either.
I'm perfectly fine. I'm going to have my own therapy soon. In the form of high explosive ammunition.
Oh. Catharsis. Okay. No, you make your way to the treatment center. It's one of the outpatient buildings next to the University of Kansas Hospital. There's nothing unusual. You've been here half a dozen times. Nothing strange.
Okay.
Okay.
There's no like large vans or anything like that nearby.
No, there are not.
Okay.
I was gonna say, does it look like we've been here?
Yeah.
So yeah, I
It does
guess,
not look like you guys have been here. The doors
Alright.
are still on their hinges. There's no holes in the wall. The streets are clear of mushed people.
Yeah, let's split up. We can do more damage that way. So I guess probably the best thing to do would be drop me off, go park down about not too far away, and then come meet me back here. You know, come
Sounds good.
meet me in the inside. Is there another entrance into here, or is it just the main front door?
This is one of the. It appears that there's just the main front door with external door handles. There's obviously framed heavy steel doors in like a two-door configuration on the side of the building as you pull into the parking lot that it looks like maybe is used to take things out, kind of like you find on the end of medical buildings, school buildings, things like that. But there's no external access through those doors. It looks like they've tried to funnel people through the main entrance.
Okay.
And
So,
from what you remember, the main entrance is kind of a hospital help desk. It's not a whole hospital facility. It's just a medical office building. And then usually you walk in, and then kind of how they have set up in those. I want to call them outlet malls, but they're not. But where you find like your dentist and your tax person and it's set up like that with the nameplates on the door. These
the
doctors.
professional
are here.
buildings.
Right. So you
Medical
walk
hospital.
in. There's
Yeah.
exactly. There's someone to help you find what floor you're on and where you're going. This is a 2-3 story building. You know that you're on the first floor, all the way at the end of the hallway to the left, is where you guys are. So that if they have to take you out through the big steel metal doors, they only have about 8 steps to do that. So depending on how crazy you are, they're prepared.
Okay. So yeah, we'll do that. I'll hop in. first
Statrix
and-
is waiting to,
Right behind.
restrain you.
Does that work?
Yeah. Works for me. I don't know.
Statrix?
Okay. So I will just drop you off at the front doors.
Pretty much.
Okay. So basically, I'll pull up to the curb, drop Minus off, and then pull 3 blocks down and park there if possible.
Okay.
And then basically like park the van, and then before I get out, take a look around and see if I see.
Roll your perception plus your logic to see if you can figure out somewhere to park. This is one of those typical, like, that one's handicapped, that one's handicapped, these ones are all full. There's valet parking and a garage around the side of the building.
Go for the expectant mother.
Go for the, just run her
Perception.
over. Steal her spot.
What's that? What is my perception?
I don't know. What is your perception? Are you perceptive? Can Gust move a car?
Yes, he probably could.
I need a spot, Gust.
3 successes to find a parking space.
Okay, it's gonna take you 10 minutes. Congratulations. You are not in the garage. Fortunately, someone starts to pull out. You zip in, and then I don't know what you do after that.
Okay, well, while I'm trying to find a spot, I'm trying to keep an eye out for anything suspicious, for lack of a better term, especially since I apparently narrowly avoided the time limit of getting shot anyway.
So you're driving like this. You're looking around. Okay, I got you.
Well, I mean, if I'm driving to find a parking space, I'm going pretty slow anyway. And then,
Driving casual.
Driving
yeah, so
casual.
I guess while that 10 minutes
Walking
occurs,
casual.
yeah, driving casual, while that 10 minutes occurs, I don't know if Minus goes inside or not.
Yeah, I'd go inside.
Okay, perfect. You go inside. What would you like to do? You're inside.
I'm gonna look on the wall and see if there's a. Well, I'm just gonna how many people are, there's a lot of people here.
This
see
is
if there's any-
basically a hallway. This isn't even the waiting reception area for your psychotherapist. So
Okay.
it's pretty clear of traffic. No one's really walking up and down it right now.
There a public restroom?
Absolutely, and it's on this floor.
Let's
Just
go
past
there.
the elevator. Okay, yeah. You walk down the hall directly in front of you. It kind of where'd you go? Aha! You kind of got through the front doors. Aha! Happy little front doors. One of these building dispersion patterns, where the front doors are in the middle, you have it opens into an atrium, and then you got a left path, a right path, and a straight path. The straight path is not very long. It's got the elevators on one side, and then the restrooms on the other. So right inside the front door.
Perfect.
Piss them if you got them.
Perfect. We'll try to kill a few minutes, and then after a little while, I'll give Statrix a call. Say, hey, where I am.
We'll see. So
Thanks.
I'll just say,
Sorry. Hold on.
I did it. Don't worry,
I'm in the
I did
men's
it too.
restroom. Where are you?
So I'll let him know that I just parked, and I'll walk into the front door.
All right.
Perfect.
I will start making my way there, then to the front, to the office, as he's making his way in, so we don't meet up at the same time. But he's pretty close behind me.
Do you want me to come into the office with you, or do you want me to stay out here, like in the more public areas, to keep an eye out?
Just stay out there for a second, and you can come on in shortly afterwards. If there's someone in here that shouldn't be, then by all means rush in. Otherwise, just casually come in.
Got it. Okay. So
Cool.
I'll wait probably 5 minutes, just kind of browsing outside.
Give me like a couple of minutes, if that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it should be. In fact, I'll just be on the phone. I'll be in call with you as I
Mhm.
walk into the office.
Okay. So I'll give him a few minutes and then when he tells me, I'll go on in.
Yeah.
All right, you walk in. There is a nice older-looking elf lady sitting behind a sheet of plexiglass in front of a computer. In the atrium of the waiting area, the glass is slid to the side. She looks up. Oh, Mr. Minos. Your appointment's not today. Well, how can I help you?
I need to get into the office. The doc said it was okay. You can call him.
I'm not sure I follow.
Yeah, you give a call.
I'll wander in, like basically after him. And, Minus, there you are. Hello, Janice. I'm Mr. Minus's lawyer. How do you do?
This is weird. Look.
Excuse me? I'm very well, or at least I was. How can I help you?
Oh, don't worry, we're not doing anything. Just the last time Mr. Minus was here, he left something in the office.
I can check the lost and found for you.
It's not in lost and found. It was under the care of.
Well, if it was in the office
his
last
therapist.
week, it'll be in lost and found by now. They clean it every night.
Only, listen. It was in the care of Dr. Crap. Was it Archibald?
Arthur.
MacArthur. It was in the care of Mr. MacArthur.
Oh, you haven't heard?
Heard what?
Something terrible happened. Mr. MacArthur was killed this week.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, we certainly need to retrieve Mr. Minus's property from his safe. Then.
Why would Mr. MacArthur? Hey, anyway, the safe has been cleared out. Yeah, the young gentleman from corporate came after the accident. It must have been yesterday evening, around 4 o'clock.
Do you have his contact information?
It was all quite shocking. I talked to him yesterday morning, but it sounds like he was in some sort of traffic accident. They had all the right paperwork. Oh, Mr. Minos, I'm so sorry. You're on my list to call today. We have staffed the position, and you'll have an opportunity to meet your new physician next week.
Okay.
She doesn't do that. I just can't stop my face from doing that.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying.
You have a copy of that paperwork?
I suppose I do, but I can't give it to you.
I don't think we can lie to her to get her to tell to
Why
give
not?
us stuff.
Well, because you don't work here.
But it'd help a lot with coping over the. And I try to use the, just whatever words you use, the loss of. I don't know, something. It'd help a lot.
The family will be I'm putting together a box to mail his effects to the family. I think he's got an aunt that lives in town. I can ask when they come get it if it would be all right if you came to the funeral and if I shared that information with you.
Okay.
Great. Janice, what? Unfortunately, cover Mr. Minus's property, so I need to know the contact information of the gentleman who can pick it up and retrieve it.
Oh, well, I suppose I can give you the number for the corporate office.
Do you know who came to pick it up?
I can. I believe I have the officer's name. Yes.
If you could with that, and I'll kind of lean forward and kind of like, because I'm probably facing away from Minos, or at least so that he can't see my face, and I'll lean forward and kind of make eye
Oh,
contact.
don't go
with
through
her.
the glass.
No, I'm not going through the glass. I'm not a raptor. But
I
I'll just kind of lean forward
Don't
and
stick
kind of-
your head through the glass.
oh no, not that far.
She's
No, I'm
trying
just
to
kind of
warn
lean-
you.
Dude, I was just leaning forward just like a little bit, just to
Oh.
kind of like between us two, and kind of like eye contact with her, and kind of like kind of gesture to Minos and just go.
Does she
like,
need to
kind
roll
of-
to resist mind stun damage?
No, I'm not stunning her. I'm trying to verbally communicate to reinforce her that Minos is a crazy person who could break her in half. And to kindly please don't let that happen.
So you're leaning forward to give her the look that tells her that Minus is crazy and going to break her in half?
Basically, in hopefully more elegant terms. Basically, the come on help me before he gets really angry.
Why don't you give us, for the benefit of the party, why don't you show us what that look looks
I don't actually know what that looks like.
looks like.
A little bit of fear, some impatience.
That does it for me. That's terrifying. Just a second. Let me get that information for you. And she slides the glass shut with the button. I don't know why I did this. I can't stop my hand sometimes. She goes through one of those almost cardboard thin doors into the file area and starts rummaging through some things.
He's going.
2 or 3 minutes later, she comes back up. Now, I put the contact information for the corporate office. I've written that here. And then the gentleman actually left me a card. So I've made you a copy, and that card is in here as well. Is there anything else you needed today? I'm really sorry that you... Are you sure you don't want me to check the lost and found? What is it that you lost?
Mr. Minos left a journal in his care, and he would really prefer that not be released due to client privilege. So we were trying to retrieve it.
Oh, okay. I'm sure
Um,
that's something that Mr. Minos could talk to with all of the case records will be transferred on to the following physician, I would assume, especially if Mr. Minos continues to be a client here. But so if corporate doesn't give you a good response or they give you a runaround, make sure to bring it up with your physician.
Voltaic will kind of look at the card that she made him a copy of,
Therapist,
Did Hmm? Oh,
not
fair.
physician.
Not physician.
They've been doctors and now they're not doctors. It's so confusing.
We'll take a look at the card that she gave, made a copy of. And what's the officer's name or name, quote unquote, on here?
Aaron Moss.
Moss. Did Mr. Moss ask you to
It
call
grows
him
on
if you heard,
trees.
or to contact him by any chance?
No, I don't believe so. I think I was only supposed to call if there was something else in the office that he missed, but um, Mr. Cuthbertson was very diligent about putting everything in the safe and logging it to corporate every night, so I doubt that anything will come up in the office.
Okay.
What
Uh,
corporate?
Hmm?
Corporate. What company is this?
We're hang on, I don't remember.
I don't think it was ever said.
No.
It wasn't, but that doesn't mean I don't remember. It just means
I mean, it
you
does at this
don't know.
particular moment.
I mean, it does at this particular moment because I don't remember. Sometimes I take my glasses off when I need them, and it's unwise. Cranny Health Services Incorporated.
Okay.
Cranning, Cranning.
Okay.
Great.
Fine.
That works.
So I have a weird request, but being that Voltaic mimics people so often in appearance, like he can change his form, he may know this thing. Voltaic is also smarter than I am as a person. I basically want to get her to say a sentence that contains all of the different vowel sounds. I just don't know of a sentence that, all of the different speech sounds that humans make. I just don't know what such a sentence would be.
You couldn't have just been listening to her for the past.
I mean, I probably have. We've been
15
recording it.
minutes.
Yeah, that would probably
are
work too. She's
recording
probably
it?
said enough of them. Yeah, we've been recording it. That's a good point. I forget that we're
I
basically
feel
always
like it
recording.
would be harder to ask her to speak without any of the 5 vowel sounds than it would be to get her to say all 5 in a 15, 20-minute conversation.
Okay, so we'll
No, don't use you.
we'll see.
No, seriously, Voltaic, for the rest of the evening, if you use the you, it's gonna hurt you.
I'm
With
going
a
under.
long E.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll DNI to Minos that I have an idea, and let's head out.
Okay.
Does count as you? Oh, I should have drawn a finer distinction there. Go ahead.
All right, so
Out.
I guess I'll make our way back out to the van, assuming nothing stops me.
Okay.
Question mark.
I'm gonna, while that happens, I'm gonna call up the doc again, and
Oh, Mr. Minos. How
Yeah,
was
let him
it?
know that
You
he's
able to
dead.
get
Yeah.
out of any
hey,
trouble?
do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
Don't call anyone.
Okay.
By anyone, I mean, don't call anyone.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks. I'll fill you in later.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna go.
Hang up.
I'm gonna go back to the van, and I'm gonna spend a few
I was
minutes.
gonna ask him if he had an insurance policy, but that was a little weird.
No weirder than trying to get the secretary to say all of her vowel sounds. So.
I forget that we're recording. So basically, I'm gonna spend probably 5 to 10 minutes.
Are you sure that's pronounced sofa?
So.
What about
she,
Safa?
does Minus follows Voltaic back to the van, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'll go back into the van and I'll kind of pull the card out again and say, she said she should call him if she realizes that he missed anything. And then I'll mimic her way of
Well, hold
speaking
on.
as.
hold on. If we're gonna do something like this, we should probably get the rest of the group.
This is true. So if you want basically, I'll kind of 2 minutes. So fill them in, see if they want to come. I need to practice.
Alright.
And he'll basically, Voltaic will kind of watch the footage again or listen to it, and basically practice her manner of speaking for a little bit while Minus talks to the others, because physical mask also changes your voice. So basically, I can use physical mask to impersonate her voice, and use impersonation to impersonate how she speaks to make that call. And
In the
hopefully,
meantime- Oh,
hopefully lure our Mr. Moss back in, so we can grab him and smush him if we feel like it.
well, don't we have his address?
We have the address he provided.
Oh. It's probably legit.
I don't know if they're pouncing him they're opening fire on his aunt's house and declaring him dead in traffic accidents.
You never know.
Also,
Nobody
if
gets
you
in a
wanna take a-
traffic accident.
Yes,
I
it's
do
not
have
collision.
to urinate incredibly badly if you're about to ask if we can take a break.
Yeah, that was the idea.
Sure.
Actually.
Fantastic. It's
Okay.
either that or I put this catheter in. I've been thinking about